Okay, Sean, sometimes in an emergency situation, firefighters, emergency personnel from different areas will have to come together and be dropped right into the situation like a wildfire. They have to immediately establish communications with each other, and sometimes even with local law enforcement and emergency personnel. That isn't as easy as it sounds because on these modern radios, to program them, it requires a computer, a special cable, software. I mean, these are professional radios that not just anybody can program. In that kind of situation, you don't have that kind of time. You have a pretty unique solution for that with your devices.
Well, and a lot of this comes from our history with wildland fire and getting input. I'll give you a good example. I had a customer approach me and say he was called out to a fire in Washington, and they had air support that called down a new frequency that they were going to have to switch to, and said, so everybody put these in their radios. Well, they're not at the main command tent to program this stuff. They're in the middle of the woods. So a bunch of BK guys are around and they're programming the frequency in the radio. There were a couple of other brand radios there, and they were asking, what are you guys doing? We're putting the frequency in. And they're like, I need a tech or a laptop here. That's not the case with us. We need to make it easy for them, if they have the permissions, to be able to pop a frequency in there and be able to do this from the front panel with no outside resources. Also, we have the ability to be able to connect a cable from one radio to another and take just a simple talk group or clone the whole radio from one to the other. Very easy, and you don't need to have a radio tech or be a radio expert to be able to do it.
That is very cool. And you've also got a solution for connecting the communities and other people that they don't have the radios, but they have a smartphone.
So we do have a product called Interop One, and you have a lot of manufacturers out there that have push to talk over cellular. So they have an app that can basically turn your phone into a walkie-talkie. With ours, it's a little bit unique in that I can create a talk group on this on the fly in a matter of minutes. Let's say you had a lost child. You have a bunch of volunteers along with sheriff staff that show up in this field and they're going to sweep the field. They don't have enough radios to get to everybody, but everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
So, hey, write your cell phone number down. Everybody writes it down. Meanwhile, one guy that's on the scene is able to create that talk group and send them a link. They're able to download the app, put in a code, and all of a sudden they're part of the talk group. The other thing is, while they're doing this, they could send a picture back. Hey, I found this, and here's a pinpoint of where I'm at. And they're able to text back and forth, do all of that. And what links it up to the guys with the radios is if you have a radio back at that main base, and you have what's called a gateway. It's basically a translator that can actually link the cell users along with the radios. So now you've got some people with radios, some people with cell phones, and they're all talking to each other.
So on top of the durability, which BK is well known for, super easy to program and to use, even right there in the heat of the moment, no pun intended. And with the LTE expandability, you can use smartphones to create a big communication group.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That would save so much time, be so valuable. Thanks for watching. To learn more or to discuss a solution of your own with our experts, visit us at WarnerFamilyBrands.com. And while you're there, be sure to click subscribe to get more news and views you can use.